Hi puppy people! Today we're going to talk about long lines and puppies. Here are a couple examples to illustrate. They essentially look like leashes, but they're very long, not to be confused with retractable leashes or tie-outs. So long lines are made in different lengths and from different materials. And no puppy person, no dog person should be without long lines, and including long line walks as a regular activity for your puppy and your dog. So why a long line? When we are on a 6-foot leash, on a sidewalk, restricting the way that the dog moves or the ability for the dog to sniff, it's no good for the dog. So we really need to give them the opportunity, like if you're in a suburban or an urban spot where, you know, the dog's not just running out a door and hitting the pasture or hitting the woods, we've got to create that opportunity for the dog. So we do that with our long line walks, also called sniffaries or decompression walks or long line walks. So we find a big open space, whether it's the woods or a field or a trail or the beach, somewhere where there's not a ton of people and a ton of other dogs. It's not about that. It's about the puppy having the opportunity to move like a dog, which is different from us, and sniff, which is critical. They should be having sniffing, lots of fun sniffing opportunities every day. So move like a dog, sniff, enjoy, explore, and for you as well. So that's the number one reason we give these puppies and these dogs the opportunity to do the doggy things that soothe their soul. I always say 6 feet of leash and a puppy and a sidewalk do not a good time make. So it's really nice for the dog, but it's nice for us because, especially for new puppy people, it can be really stressful, all the new things and the way that puppies behave. So when you don't have the restriction of that 6-foot leash, you've got some line, you've got some space, you can relax and you can learn to work with the puppy. So what can you do on a long line? You can practice all of the foundation moves that we need to refine to be able to teach a leash walking behavior. So offered attention is a biggie. We can work on the puppy just ambling and then reinforce them when they check in with us. We can do chase games. We can toss treats and toys and run away and have the puppy chase us. We can do recall back and forth between more than 2 people or more. So really the sky's the limit as far as creativity and what you do on the long line. So I highly recommend that you get yourself a long line and that you head out on long line walks on a regular basis with your puppy. Now there's a couple tips regarding safety. It's long, and so the potential for tangles is there. So when there's other dogs or there's people, bikes, anything like that, obviously a sidewalk close to the street, we're not having that line out. So we don't want the puppy in danger or the ability for the puppy to wrap around anything. So when there's other dogs and people and all that kind of stuff, I will shorten the line so that we're working with a regular, 4 to 6 foot line to prevent tangles. So that's a key thing to consider. The other thing is if the puppy runs and hits the end of the line, learning to just go down, go low, and give a little so that when the dog hits the end, it doesn't hurt you and it doesn't hurt them. The long line should be attached to a harness, and it should be attached to the back of the harness versus the front of the harness. So there's some safety considerations, and it can feel kind of weird sometimes when people first start working with long lines, but you'll quickly get used to it, and you'll love the freedom that you get and the puppy gets from the long line. Oftentimes my students will say, "Oh, this is so much more fun and fulfilling than being on that sidewalk on a 6-foot leash." So there's a quick tutorial for you on long lines. So get yourself a long line and get out there on a regular basis every day, or at least 3 or 4 times a week, so that puppy can have long line walks and continue that right on through over the course of your dog's life. Okay, happy puppy raising.